Logan White, and I did my presentation on primary production in rivers and streams. The primary production is done by plants and algae in the water. Phytoplankton is algae that is suspended in the water column, and periphyton is algae that grows on some type of submerged substrate, usually rocks or logs. Photosynthesis occurs the same as on land. Plants absorb light and convert the energy. Light can also be absorbed by water and suspended materials before it reaches the plants. Nutrients in streams are governed by terrestrial interactions, meaning that most of the nutrients in the streams come from land and are introduced. And most streams are not nutrient limited due to the seasonal changes of leaves falling, introducing CPOM, or overland flow, or geology. Gross primary productivity is the total glucose produced during photosynthesis. This is the total amount of energy produced by a plant. Net primary productivity is what remains after the plant uses some energy to respire. Net primary productivity is calculated by gross primary productivity minus the plant's respiration. This is a river continuum concept. It shows how a stream goes from stream order 1, meaning a headwater type stream, to 12, which would be a large river. The headwater streams have a lot more introduction of nutrients such as leaves, and they are generally limited for light due to canopy cover by trees, meaning that they have less production, and they also usually have higher flows and steeper slopes, resulting in less periphyton and phytoplankton. The phytoplankton can't stay suspended in the water, and the periphyton, it's hard for it to attach to something when the water is moving really fast. As you get further downstream, you usually get bigger rivers with less shade, meaning that the more light availability. There's also, when the flow goes down, it allows for more sediment deposits, meaning that macrophytic plants can attach and root and grow, also producing. Even though there's little plant biomass in rivers and streams, there's extremely high net primary productivity. Factors affecting production. The main limiting factor is light, and this is usually limited by water depth and clarity. If the water's too deep, light can't penetrate to the bottom, meaning plants can't grow even if there is sediment. And the water clarity means that if it's cloudy, the light can't penetrate. Nutrients that limit in the water are phosphorus, nitrogen, and oxygen, even though streams and rivers usually aren't limited for these. Substrate affects plant and algae growth. If there's no sediment for plants to root in, then they can't grow. And if there's nothing for algae to attach to, it also can't grow. Temperature affects algae density. Usually the warmer the water, more algae can grow. Flow alters type of producer and substrate. High flow limits phytoplankton because it can't stay suspended in the water with high flow. And if there's high flow, it usually carries substrate downstream, meaning that there's nothing for the periphyton or macrophytic plants to attach to. These are my references.